So welcome to our YouTube channel LemonTopper for our initiative Master Vocab 30. So let us look for the today's articles from the Hindu newspaper. So it is March 18, 2026, right? So and these are the important articles that you must be going through from today's Hindu newspaper. So directly from the editorial page regarding the present outbreak of diseases and then India, West Asia reset and more sinned against than sinning, right? And then the other article, a bit of blur over India's new carbon credit plan, right? And then from the opinion page, why the university affiliation system seems outdated. So there was an article on this. And then from the text and the context page, so regarding the scientific collaborations in the BRICS grouping and moral disengagement and the impact of the power, right? And then so like the UGC funding powers to fall under the Shiksha Adhistan. And then the Supreme Court allows 12-week paid leave for all the new adoptive mothers, right? And then the Supreme Court bench to hear the definition of industry, right? And then Niti Aayog makes a house panel on the poor planning of the finances and expedite spending, new gas pipeline projects, centers tell states and the union territories. So Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India moods and public insurance registry, right? And then finally from the science page, how the cholesterol makes the cell's nuclei so flexible, help the skin cancer, which means the melanoma to spread, right? So these are the important articles, and if your exams are serious about the events, both national and the international events, so you must be going through all these articles from today in the newspaper so that you have a better hold over the events that is occurring today, right? And then for today, let us explore one editorial section, which it is the prison outbreak. So this article speaks about how the prison or overcrowding with the inmates and increased occupancy rate across the different jails. So a reason for the disease outbreak. So like during the COVID-19 and the HIV spread and other spread of other infectious diseases. So the article speaks on this. So please go through this article, right? So let us go for the list of words from this article. So as you know, the outbreak, which means here it refers to the spread of disease within the present settings, right? So overcrowded means holding the inmates more than the capacity, leading to the poor living conditions. Health risk means the possibility of harm or illness arising from the unsafe condition. Inmates means the person confined in a prison. Health crisis means a severe situation where the public health is under the serious threat, right? Infrastructure, you know that the systems and the facilities needed for functioning. You can say that the building and the other sanitation facilities. Disregard means lack of attention or consideration towards something. Ailment means, which means a minor illness or health problems affecting an individual. Some inconvenient, which means that a difficulty or a discomfort without being very something very harmful, right? Stressed means experiencing a physical or a mental strain due to an adverse condition. Infected means something affected by the harmful microbes causing a disease. Experts means a person with a specialized domain knowledge. Immunocompromised means the immune system is weakened, making the person more vulnerable to the infections, right? Overcrowded means filled beyond the capacity, resulting in the congestion and strain on the resources. Encephalitis, which means the inflammation of brain, so caused by the viral infections, leading to the serious complications. And see, we have given the meanings parallelly in Hindi as well. So if you are, so it is up to you to decide whether to read in English or whether to go with the Hindi meaning. So the idea behind is to cover the article in a better way with the meaning convenient for you, right? So moving on to the next set. So fatal, which means it is causing death or a deadly outcome. Occupancy rate means the proportion of available space to that of the currently in use, right? The number of jails to the person occupying the jail, right? Good hygiene means that maintaining the cleanliness and prevent the disease. Isolation means separation of the individuals, maybe to prevent the spread of infection. Luxury means something desirable but not essential for the basic living, right? Next, it is exceeding means beyond something, beyond a set limit or an expected level. Next is staggering levels, which means extremely high or an shocking amounts of something, right? Persistent fact means a condition or a reality continues over time without any change. Correctional facilities, which means institutions such as prisons where offenders are held and rehabilitated. See, the meanings are given in an editorial context so that you will get understand. You can try to understand this article in a proper way. So that is the idea behind it, right? So humidity means the amount of moisture present in the air. Tuberculosis means the disease, infectious disease that affects the lungs. It is caused by a bacteria, as you all know. Next, it is about the prison screening camps, which means organized health checkups conducted in the prisons to detect the disease, which means screening of the disease, right? Unventilated means lack of proper air circulation or airflow. You know that COVID-19, a contagious viral disease, so affecting the respiratory system, right? Outbreak means a sudden increase in the occurrence of the disease, right? See, we have given the words even which is very basic. So the idea behind it is, so even a beginner must look for words outside to get the meaning. So we hope you get the idea behind giving each and every word here, right? Next. So HIV prevalence, you know that the proportion of the people affected with infected with the HIV disease, right? Equipments means you know that the tools and the devices for the specific purposes. Inadequate screening means the screening of the disease is insufficient, right? So mandatory means something required by the law or something which is very it is compulsory. And comprehensive medical screening means a holistic or a thorough medical examination, so covering the multiple conditions and the risk. Infections means this is caused by the harmful organisms entering the body. Injurious means something causing harm or damage to the health and the well-being. Next, requisite personnel, which means a staff required to perform a specific duties. Flagged means raised concern or an highlighted for an attention, right? Vacancy rate means so unfilled position within an organization. Here it refers to the jail, prison. Psychologist means who study and treats the mental and the behavioral issues, right? Integrating means combining different elements into one system. Health mission means a campaign or a goal towards a better public health outcomes. Enforcing means ensuring that the compliance with the rules and the laws through the authority of enforcement. Standards means something accepted as a quality or norms to be maintained, right? So, and the remaining set of list of the words for this article is illustrate, you know, that to explain or something with clarify something with the example. So next it is under trials, means that await this person awaiting trial, not yet convicted. So that is so these under trials are one of the major proportion of increased occupancy rate under the in the prisons, right? So relieve means to release or to ease the burden or the pain. Not confined to means not limited or restricted to a particular situation or a scope, right? Fast track cases means so legal matters processed very quickly through an expedited procedure, right? Constitute means to make up or a form as a whole to establish formally. Non-custodial, which means so no, it does not involve any custody, means that no imprisonments. So alternatives to the detention. Minor offense means less serious violation of the law with limited penalties. Expedite means to speed up the process. Okay. And repetition means return of the person to their own country. Here it speaks about the repatriation of the foreign inmates, right? So we have given every list of the words. So the idea behind is not about the memorization. So the idea behind it is to help you to finish the article in a very short span of the time, right? So the other important articles from today in Hindu newspaper is from the editorial page. It is the change in the stance of on West Asia by India, and then a bit of blur over the India's new carbon credit plan, which means the carbon credit program of 20,000 crore outlay in the union budget, right? And then the university affiliation system, how it is outdated. um that was an article from the opinion page, and then from the text and the context page. So regarding the for the scientific collaborations occurring in the BRICS groupings, and then there was an article, moral disengagement and the impact of the power. So please go through this article. This is very regarding ethics or something. It will be very useful for your answer writing. So please go through this article. So it is very useful even for life too, right? Then from the science page, it is the how the cholesterol makes the cells more flexible, helping the spread of melanoma, right? So the melanoma is a kind of a skin cancerous growth in the melanin producing cells, right? So for the list of the words on this article, you can directly go to our website. As you all know, it is lemontopperstudy.com. So every day we will be posting the list of the words around 11 a.m. So you can straight away go to our portal lemontopperstudy.com and finish this list of the words, right? And I think so that's all for today. So do you have any clarifications or the doubts regarding the words or the meanings or about the initiative? Try to post your comments below the video in the comment box so that we will try to answer very soon, right? So thank you guys. Thank you for listening. So keep learning. Happy learning. Bye.